All right, we are on day 6. I wanted to talk real quick about day 5. So I always do like a brute force solution when I first approach these, and I realized, after thinking about it, that this really is just a straight up binary number that they're giving us, and I was able to just in this boarding pass class, I just converted it straight up to a binary number and just replaced I treat the row, the one character for rows is B, and so this string would replace all the B's with ones and the F's with zeros. And if you do that, it just gives you you can encode it as a binary, and it just gives you the integer value if you convert it to int with a radix of 2. And that allowed me to greatly simplify my code. So I was able to just have this encode from binary, this single method that these ones delegate to, and then I just did a lazy computation of that seat ID. So as soon as this is a Kotlin convention, it's a forget the name of this, but it's basically it's kind of this initializer block that this will only get executed when it's called, and then it will keep that same value, just in the way that you would expect a lazy initializer to work. So anyway, as I think of simplifications to code that I've written previously, I'll make those and I'll talk about them in the following day like this. So yeah, you can just treat that as a binary number. It's really nice, really convenient. Okay, on to day 6. As your flight approaches the regional airport, where you'll switch to a much larger plane, customs declarations forms, so this is just a Wikipedia link, are distributed to the passengers. The form asks a series of 26 yes or no questions marked A through Z. All you need to do is identify the questions for which anyone in your group answers yes. Since your group is just you, this doesn't take very long. However, the person sitting next to you seems to be experiencing a language barrier and asks if you can help. For each of the people in their group, you write down the questions for which they answer yes, one per line. For example, ABCX, ABCY, ABCZ. In this group, there are 6 questions to which anyone answered yes. ABC. So these are all the yes answers. Duplicate answers to the same question don't count extra. Each question counts at most once. Another group asks for your help, then another, and eventually you've collected answers from every group on the plane, which is your input. Looks like these are separated in the same... So we can actually reuse our parser code for the passport? Yeah, for the passport, because that code was... Or that input was separated by... It was separated by this new line. So we'll be able to reuse this. This list represents answers from 5 groups. The first group is one person who answered yes to 3 questions, A, B, and C. Second group is yes to same 3. Oh, contains 3 people. Never mind. It's one person per line, and then one group. Groups are separated by new lines, and then people are separated by single lines. Okay. Count the number of questions to which anyone answered yes. Okay. Third group takes... This example is some of these counts as 3. Yes to 3. Yes to 3. Okay. So this would be 1. Count the number of questions to which anyone answered yes, and it's based on the groups of people. So what I'm thinking here is we could just have a map. We could have a list of maps of the group, and this group would have a map of A, B, and C, A, B, C. So these are the same sum here, because whether it's just a single person in the group or it's multiple people across the group, it's the same result. A, B, A, C. So like if we had either a map or a set, right? And then we just have to count per group. We have to count the distinct. Yeah, you could use a map or just a set. I think a set would be easier. So a set is a list, but it's an unordered list, but it has every element must be unique. So we could have a list of sets here, and then just run through and count the number of elements in the set. And this way, these 4 elements that are the same would get added to the set as just one element, which is what we want here. I think this is pretty straightforward, at least for this first part. We just have to write down this parsing code that just grabs all this stuff, shoves it in a set, and then go through and count the elements in the set. And I imagine in the second one, they'll probably ask us to, I don't know, I'm not going to speculate on what the second one is, but we'll just try to be flexible enough about our approach to this that we can tweak the code as we need to. Yeah, so I think I'm going to copy down this input here as usual. I'm going to create a new folder, day 6. Day6.txt. And then it is going to be really similar to our parsing of the passport stuff. So I'm going to copy over some of that test code. I'm going to create a new package for day 6. I probably should do this before I start recording the video, but oh well. Yeah, so it'll be a similar thing where if you have 2 new lines in a row, then that separates the group. I'm gonna just call this customs questions test. And then validate example questions. We're gonna say day6.txt because that's what we saved it as. Get rid of this. I might create a new class. It's not really going to do much at this point, but it's just going to be a customs questionnaire class. Does questionnaire have 2 ends? I think it does. Questionnaire, 2 ends. We got it. All right. Customs questionnaire. This is going to be a class that takes in a. It's going to take in a list of strings. I'm going to save it as a private val just so we can access it. And then I'm going to have a variable called val unique questions. And then the getter for this is going to be this, and then this is going to be an int. The getter is going to be input dot map. We need to map this by character. So we need to blow this up into just characters because we don't want this to be like if we did a unique list of strings, this would be our input is going to be like A, B, and AC, and we need to blow that up into characters. first I need to just blow this up and then to set. But this is just going to give me a string, and then I need to blow this up. To char array. And I think I want to like flat map this. I wish I could just blow this up into a, what does flat map take? So it takes in this list here. What is? I think I want the sequence one because that's kind of the Kotlin. So we want to transform this into a sequence. I don't know why this is not. Why don't I have my it here? I'm going to get rid of this toSet real quick. So this needs to take a string to a sequence. I don't understand why I can't just do it dot sequence. It just seems like I should just be able to do like what I had a second ago with this map. And then it is a string, and then if I just do to char array, and I think char array should be iterable. Maybe not. I could just get the iterator of this, and then it seems like that would flat map to all the characters, but it doesn't seem to be behaving that way, and I'm not sure why. I wonder if it's just that I don't have a, maybe I need to do as sequence dot flat map. It's just not giving me this, it's not filling in this variable here. So they give me an example of this where it just does, it has a list of string and then it just flat maps it to list. This is essentially what I want to do, is this list of strings, and I want to just flat map it to a list. It.toList. And then it gives me this individual thing. So why is that not? What is in scope here? Oh, maybe it's confused about. Maybe it's not really sure what implementation I'm using. Is that what it is? No? Yeah, the compiler seems to be confused about. Oh, I see. Okay. So I think I can just do flat map string. No. Yeah, the compiler's confused about which method I want. I don't think this matters. If I give it a hint, does that help? Yeah, I'm essentially just trying to do whatever this is here. And this is valid according to this Kotlin 1.4.20 here. List of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a list of string. I'm just going to move this into a lazy initializer just so it will return. And yeah, what the hell? I'm basically doing the same thing here because in the example they have a list of string and they're doing list.flatmap it.toList, and it's just grabbing each one of those elements. I don't understand why this approach is not working. Let's see if this tells us any more. Yeah, it's super frustrating. I don't see how 2 type arguments expected. Is this where it is? TR. So maybe I need string. Is that it? Oh, maybe, does it not know what this is? Yeah, it's not confused about the types, it's confused about cannot choose among. No, it's not it. It's just confused about which method I want between the one with the sequence and the one not. I'm just going to double check that I'm using this. Pretty sure I'm using 1.4.20 for this Kotlin version. Let's try bumping this down. Maybe there's some kind of compiler issue with. This is obviously working here. I mean, nothing can ever be easy. Yeah, this should be. Compiler's still confused. I'm just for shits, I'm gonna just take their example. I'm gonna do a list of 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, and then list.flatMap it. So val list is this, and then it's dot. What the hell? So the compiler is okay with this. So there must be something different than. I wonder if there. I mean, this should be a list of string, right? This is. Am I crazy? Get.toList. I'm just gonna put a to do here so that the compiler. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't understand what the difference is between this list, which is a list of string. This is taking a list of string, which is what I'm passing in here, and then flat mapping it to a list, and the compiler's perfectly happy with that, and yet, oh, weird. Okay, I don't know what just happened, or if it just picked up that change that I made to, okay, whatever. To set is what I want. So what this should do, and then we just want to count that, okay? I'm really not sure what happened here, but it's working now. I bumped the version of Kotlin back down to match this, but I can't imagine that would be a huge change that they would make in a minor version bump. But anyway, we wasted 10 minutes or so on that. Anyway, it's fine. Okay, so I'm going to read the questionnaire, and then I'm going to return a list of customs questionnaires, right? And then questionnaires, and then I'm going to do a read questionnaire. Change this to be plural, read questionnaires, and I know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna just maximize this, and we're gonna split this based on 2 new lines, and then I'll delineate a new group, and then it's the same deal. We want to split on this new line or a space, right? They didn't say anything about spaces. We don't care about spaces. So we're just going to split these on new lines. New lines are going to delineate a new item, or a new person, basically. So we're going to filter the ones that are not empty. We don't really care about splitting and associating here, but we are going to just dot. I'm gonna call this val input because this is our input that we want, and then we're gonna return a customs questionnaire with this input. So if we did this right, we should have And this is really a group, right? This is not like what this is representing is an entire group of questionnaires. I'm going to rename this to customs group. Just to be clear about what we are representing here. So it's going to be groups, read questionnaires. I'm going to call this read groups. And really what we're expecting here is to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups if we did this right. And I'm just going to do a sanity check, just println these groups and set a breakpoint here. And let's check this out. And I think that version bump must have changed some stuff. Weird. Okay. I wonder if they just changed a lot in that minor version bump. That's annoying. So if I revert this, it's probably going to complain now about that group. I don't know why it's not complaining and why. I guess we'll try it. We'll try it again with that bump. Yeah, I mean that was fine with that same version of Kotlin. I did change I'm just gonna do, I'm gonna comment these out for now. I'll sort it out later. I don't know why that's not working, but I don't want to dig into it right now. Okay, so we do have 5 groups like we expected, and then what we want to do is we want to find the number of unique questions for yes in this group. And we're expecting 11. So we want to run a count on this. Groups.count, and then it.unique questions. I think we actually want to do some, right? Count. Why is this not? I'm just wrestling with Kotlin today. not. I did something similar earlier where I think we were counting the trees. So I want to just double check that for whatever reason that's compiling, but this is not. Yeah, so it's just doing a count of this. So it's giving us a list. Count.it is valid. I think the problem is this is a predicate, so this is different from this one because this is trying to do a predicate, but we really just want a sum of this. So I think we should be able to just do sum by. I just want to make sure that this isn't gonna returns the sum of all values produced by selector. Okay, that's what we want. Now sum is this, and then we want to say sum should be 11 because that's what we're expecting. So let's run that. Cool. Okay, that worked. So now we should be able to test this on our puzzle input. Save this as day6full.txt. Yep, not what we want. We want this. So, okay. I'm gonna call this validate part 1 input. Not going to make any assertions about the sum. We are going to print it though. That is not right. That is definitely not right. We need to do day1full.txt. We'll run it against that. We were running against our test input. So this gives us 6,590 unique answers, or the sum of the counts of questions to which people answered yes. That's the right answer. Part 2. As you finish last group's declaration, you notice that you misread one of the words in the questions. You don't need to identify the questions to which anyone answered yes. You need to identify the questions to which everyone answered yes. Okay, so this is just a different kind of, we need a different kind of mapping. So instead of unique, it's going to be an intersection of sets. In the first group, everyone answered yes to 3 questions, A, B, and C, because you only had one person, right? And then in the second group, there's no question to which everyone answered yes. So the intersection of sets here would be empty because these don't intersect at all. So if we treat these individual items as sets, then we do the intersection of them, that would give us the ones that matched up. In the fourth group, everyone answered yes to only question A. In the fifth group. Okay, so this is kind of a minor tweak to our logic. We'll just add a different method to, and this is the same test input they gave us. So unique questions, and then we'll call this same questions. And we just need to do some different logic here. We're going to do a flat map of, or not a flat map. We're going to do map, and then we can use a reducer to do the intersection of sets, and then the ultimate reduction will be a set that has everything in it. So we're going to do it.toSet, and that'll give us, so we have these inputs here of groups, right? And actually the input that's coming in is for the group, it's for the individual person. And so we want to map that to a set of what this individual answered. But we actually need to blow that up first. So we first need to do a flat map. right? No, we don't. I take that back. So we need to do it dot to list dot to set. So that's going to give us a set of characters, a set of individual characters. So I'm taking each string, I'm blowing it up into characters, and I'm putting it in a set. And then that'll give us, this mapping will give us individual items as a set. So this will be a set of A, B, or a set of A and B, a set of A and C. And then we want to do a dot reduce. And the operation is we have sets A and B, right? And we want to just do dot A dot, right? Oh, I see. And this needs to be in a block for Kotlin purposes. And we basically just want to do the intersection of A and B. And for some reason this is complaining. I'm going to just put a to-do here so that to get rid of that compiler issue. This reduce takes in a set, right? And then it should give me a final set. So I want to return size, because it will be the size of that set. What I don't understand, I'm just wrestling with Kotlin today, but I just want to do, so I should have two inputs here, right? S and T. And I just want, can I just do this? A and B. Okay, here we go. It was those parentheses that was throwing it off. And I just want to do A dot intersect B. And that'll give me the intersection of these. So in this case, it's going to be A, B, and AC. The set intersection there is going to be just A. And then anytime you have, if I intersect all of these sets together, the problem is, I think the problem would be like if you had A, B, we need the intersection of all sets at once. So the problem would be like if you had, I'm going to make a comment here. The problem would be if you had like A, B, C, D, and then you had like A, D. So the, like, as it was going through this list, it would go A, B, C, D. The intersection of that would be empty. And then the intersection of that would be, but that's really not what we want. We want, in this case, you would have D and A are the ones that everyone answered yes to. So I think this reduction is not going to work. But we do want to map these to sets. And we want to take the intersection of all of them. Another way to do this would just be to have a hash map and then filter the size of the inputs. So you could have a hash map of like A to 2, right? And then C to 1. Or like, let's say it's A to 3. Because we want, actually this reduction will work because we want the ones to which everyone answered yes. And so that actually would, this example that I had would, so like if we had A, B, C, D, it's valid. That actually is valid because we would want an empty set because this person did not answer A. Okay, so this will work, this intersection. Okay, let's try this and let's make sure that our input adds up to it. So they told us in this test input, we can use this same one, validate part 2. We're going to call it validate parts 2 test input. and then we're going to get day6.txt. What they told us was this should be 6. And then we're going to count, instead of by unique questions, we're going to call it same questions. And that worked. Okay, so now we're going to do validate part 2. Call it part 2 full input. Day 6 full, and then comment this out, and then just do a print ln of that sum. That gives us 3288. Let's try that out. We got it. Cool. That was fun. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.